Oh, sick.
Hello and welcome to the Vail Daily's on the Hill. It is opening day, November the 14th, and it is a nice one, 2025. Just a mere 60 degrees outside, and that's at the bottom of the mountain. I honestly don't know what it is up here. Quite a bit colder, but still very warm, very nice. Like a great surface, surprisingly good for how little of natural snow we've received. But you know, that's Vail for you there. They do a great job with snowmaking, especially in the last few years, ever since the would have been the 2017 season. Little history lesson, that season started a lot like this one, you know, just not very much snow at all. And that's fine. A lot of seasons start like that. You know, Thanksgiving holiday rolls around, tourists come into town, only 2 runs open, you know, Columbine and Born Free or whatever, and fine, that's to be expected a lot of years on Thanksgiving. But on that year, we get all the way to Christmas and it's still barely any snow and barely any runs open. And so Vail said, okay, we got to do something different. And they put in this massive snow cannon system that you see behind us. I'll go up to one of them now. I don't know, maybe you can see that big cannon. And they moved the entire base up to the bottom of gondola, or the bottom of the mountain was the top of gondola 1 now. So just to even start your ski day, you were having to go to ride the gondola up 2,000 feet. Well, now what that has done by moving that whole base area up to the top of the gondola, it's like we're having these 60-degree days down there and they're just blowing snow all night long. So it's honestly shocking like how good it is. This surface, this man-made surface is pretty awesome. And so here we are, we're on Swingsville now. Ramshorn's also open. And interestingly, on Ramshorn, the little meadows cutoff is also open. So you can take basically 3 different routes to get to the bottom of chair 4, which is, you know, functionally the only chair basically. And I say that, but I'll get into another kind of wrinkle about Vail's opening day. So that makes it so 3 different ways to get to chair 4 with 2 different entry points into the chair 4 lift line. There's no bottlenecking, no crowding down there. So, and then it's also an uncrowded opening day just for the simple fact that we haven't received much snow. And so people don't have their gear out. And that's another thing that's just to be expected, that, you know, the crowds just aren't here yet. So it's a very uncrowded opening day with a really nice surface. And the other interesting thing that I was kind of mentioning is that Vail Mountain is essentially functioning like 2 separate ski areas right now, because they have the other gondola and the other village, Lion's Head Village, with the Lion's Head gondola, Eagle Bond gondola, also running. And there's another chair, chair 15, the little beginner chair, Little Eagle, and that chair is for beginners. And then, of course, whether you're over at that ski area or this ski area, both Vail Mountain, but essentially 2 different mountains, both ways you're going to have to take a gondola back down. But, you know, nice ride. And, I mean, honestly, there's nothing worse than like waiting in line to like finish the ski day and ride back down. But there hasn't been any lines to download, thankfully. So that's Vail's opening day. And The snowmaking system that I mentioned before has allowed Vail to join the ranks of the early to open mountains in Colorado, like your Keystone, Breck, A-Basin, Loveland, Winter Park, Copper Mountain, and Vail. These are the mountains that get open the earliest in Colorado. And well, if it's a good snow year, Wolf Creek is oftentimes actually the first, but you know, that's natural snow dependent. But anyway, so now it's November 14th. Colorado has 7 different ski areas open, and Vail, of course, is one of them. So yeah, all in all, you know, pretty dang good. We're gonna wrap it up here. I did want to mention one thing, and sort of, if you'll allow me to just take a moment and do a little self-promotion. We got the Gore Range here behind us in brown. Looks a lot better when it's white, but that mountain, I've been for 2 years now working on a book about the namesake of that mountain. His name is Sir St. George Gore, and I wrote a biography about him, and I did get it published finally by History Press. And so if you're interested in how Gore Range, Gore Creek, etc. got its name, I encourage you to pick up this book, Notorious Hunter Sir St. George Gore. It's available at all booksellers online and a number of places around here. Barnes & Noble in Glenwood Springs has it, which is pretty cool. Bookworm, Ski Museum, etc. And it reveals a lot of information about this guy that has never been known. There's been a lot of stuff written about him, but all that stuff has been based on just a few sources. And thanks to the digitization of old newspapers from the 1800s, I found, and I'm not joking, more than 100 new sources, pieces of source material about this guy. So now we know just way more, and it's allowed me to answer questions and really solve mysteries that people have been wondering for, and I'm not joking, 160 years. Like, he came through Colorado in 1854. By early 1870s, people had started writing about his journey through the area, and they had unanswered questions at that time. There's been a couple other books written about him with a lot of unanswered questions. When he got here, you know, what route he took, where else he visited, how he, you know, made his money that allowed him to do this big trip, when he got here, when he left. So I found the answers to all of those questions, and it's all in this book. So I'm hoping that you will pick it up if you're interested. And thank you for allowing me that plug. And thank you also for tuning into On the Hill today on opening day. For now, it's John LaConte signing off on a sunny Vail opening day. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you soon.